Guides are great scouts, by the way, because they're magic immune. They can't like nuke them. So so yeah, so I'm running up, and here comes, I believe, the last fight. Yeah, so immediately, once again, blink back, Shadow Strike the Naga, that stupid anti-magic thing, anti-magic spell thing ate up my Shadow Strike. That kind of pissed me off. I forgot about that. Once again, another mistake. And so I immediately start going on that Lich. And yeah, Breath of Fire. You'll see level 3 Breath of Fire kills every single A-bomb, because it's probably, that's why I love Panda. Level 5 Panda can kill everything in the world. So so yeah, so that's what I'm doing. You'll see he focuses my Warden, and I was running that stupid bear up. You'll see one of my bears is in its caster form, and I was running the bear up to rejuve, and it didn't get up there fast enough. Because the way I actually micro this is, I have my bears and my Warden in the same control group, and I always look at the little bars down at the bottom, and I just look for the bear that has the most mana, and I just click that bear in the bar, and I transform it, and then I go to cast rejuve, just to make sure that I have rejuve on that bear. And unfortunately, the bear I picked was really far away from my Warden. So once again, there's another mistake for you. The bear was, yeah, so the bear was really far away from my Warden. I couldn't get the rejuve off, and my Warden died. But what are you gonna do? Okay, so I think I'm just gonna tavern my Warden back. Once you have those level 5 heroes take so long to get at the altar. So I tavern, yeah, so I tavern the Warden back, and I think I'm just gonna go push his mine. And that is that. I think that's gonna be the end of the game according to the bar. Yeah, so I'm pushing that red mine. I'm smart enough to realize he had it up there, and yeah, finally I'm gonna be able to end this epic game. This game was pretty good. It kind of showed you what you can do with your heroes. Unfortunately, I really should have done that Echo Harass, because that really is one of the really effective things of the level 3 Warden. It's really similar to like a level 3 MK or a level 3 Pally Harass that those humans do in the Acolytes. You see Sky do it a lot. You see TH000 do it a lot. It's pretty much the exact same thing, and where you just run in and kill Acolytes, and they really can't do anything about it. And I didn't do that this game. And obviously I've made those other mistakes that I pointed out. So, I mean, I didn't play perfectly, but it was a good game. And yeah. So, I think there's going to be one last fight here. Take a look at the food count. It's 70 to 70, but my heroes are 6-6. And once those, I mean, if those heroes do get to the point that it's 6-6, the game really is over. There's really nothing Undead can do. Yeah, so in terms of my control groups, as I was saying, I have my Warden and my Bears in Group 1, and I have my Panda in Group 2, and then I have my Drads and my Hippos in Group 3, because the Drads and Hippos always focus the Destroyers together, so I always group the Drads and the Hippos together, if I do make Hippos. The reason I have the Panda just separate is because you do have to abuse that, you have to abuse the Breath of Fire, so I like having them in a separate control group. I do use the F1, F2, F3 keys a lot too. So I mean, I do both, but if I do have some kind of third unit, I'll group him with the Panda. Like if I have Fairy Dragons, that way it makes the least amount of tabbing, like tabbing through your hotkeys to access the different units. The reason I have the Bears grouped with my main hero, and in this case my Warden, is because it's really easy just to hit one tab Z and then left click. Like that's what I do to rejuve my units. So you hit like 1, that takes you to your first control group. You hit tab, that takes you to your Bears, and then you hit Z, and that casts rejuve, assuming they're in the caster form. And then you just left click your Warden. And I mean, after you have some practice doing that, you can do it in a split second. So yeah, so that's that game. Pretty good game. Next one will be the pro game of Lil D going Warden, and I I remember it being a good game, and that's why, because I titled it Lil D against Fury Audio, and I only do that with games that are really good. So it should be a good game. I don't remember it exactly, but I have to go see if my dog is eating my sock. So while you guys are getting that game queued up, I will be right back. Yes, he was eating my sock. Oh well. I got it out of his mouth, thank God. Okay, so this next game we'll do the same thing, 1 minute, 1x speed. We might have to do it a little faster. The reason I'm in a rush, I'm going to, whoop, I just went past 1 minute, I have to restart it again. I'm going to Jamaica on a mission trip. I'm going to go teach Spanish in Jamaica for a week. And I have to get like a tetanus shot and hepatitis A shot and stuff. My arm's going to be really sore. It's going to suck. But that's why I'm kind of in a rush today. So, okay, so as I was saying, 1x, 1 minute. Okay. I'll give you guys another like 30 seconds to get that queued up. I have it queued up. Lil D spawns in the top right, and Fury spawns in the top left. In the top right, you'll see Lil D's base is extremely similar to mine, and it basically accomplishes the same thing that my base does in terms of being able to run the wisps through the altar if you need to save them, and having the moonwell next to the tree, and the AOW placement. He builds the AOW a little further back because he's being a little more conservative in the sense that, I mean, as I was saying, there's a very small chance of someone scouting that the creep first before the mine, and if they do that, usually they're a map hacker, and they're like most undeads I play against on ladder, if they do scout that AOW first and they scout the creep camp first, I assume they're a map hacker, because it's really pointless to scout, because what ends up happening if you scout all the orange mines and the person isn't AOW creeping that orange, then when your hero comes out, you have no idea where the night elf is, so you have no idea what to do with your death knight. So that's the downside, and that's the reason I assume people are hackers whenever they do scout that orange camp first. But anyway, Lil D has been playing a little more cautiously in the sense that he built his AOW a little further back. So everyone should have this queued up now. Let's unpause it in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 1 minute, 1 1, 2, 3. Okay. So you'll see once again, as I was mentioning, Lil D goes Warden, and Fury's gonna go Death Knight, of course. And yeah, so that's that. Now you'll see his scout does see Lil D's AOW. Now obviously in this sense or whatever, it doesn't mean he's a map hacker. Whenever I mean map hacker, I mean whenever like they do whenever they come like up from the bottom. Like if say he was in the bottom right position and he scouts that orange first, that's whenever I assume they're map hackers. But he was doing a ghoul and an acolyte scout. If people are doing a ghoul and an acolyte scout, then you obviously know they're not map hackers. So it's only whenever they send one unit just to cancel your AOW that you can assume that they're map hackers. Now you'll see Lil D's doing something a little different. He's basically not creeping that. Once again, he's playing more cautiously. Now, because his AOW is so far away from that creep, he might not have gotten the creep finished. And the thing was, his archer would have taken a lot of damage because he would have had that ghoul there attacking his archer. So that's why. Now, as soon as he sees the ghoul, Lil D actually did something really cool there. I don't know if you noticed, but he was right around the corner. And basically what you can do is, he doesn't have vision of that, but Lil D obviously has vision because of the AOW. And then as soon as the ghoul ran around, he shadow struck him and killed him. So that was a kind of cool little trick he did. Now you'll see Fury is doing basically the counter to what I did last game. He has an acolyte scouting on the right by the Goblin Laboratory, because that is what most Night Elves do, because that gives you the ability to buy the Shredder. Now, Lil D is being a little tricky in the sense that he is building the AOW by the shop, by the Goblin Merchant instead, which is good, I guess. I still like building it by the laboratory for the reason that I mentioned last game, that you can buy the shredder, and then as soon as you finish you can walk it down to the mine and then use it to creep with your panda to get your panda level 2.